It was a mile marker. 2 weeks ago, she turned 40 years old. It was summertime. It was in June. It was time to get healthier, time to eat better, time to lose 10 pounds, and time to get that egg-sized lump on her right breast checked. Well, at least a little bit closer, because she already had it looked at. 8 months before, this lump came up overnight. By the way, 85% of those are harmless. An ultrasound earlier in the year had revealed that it was a fluid-filled cyst. Nothing to worry about. But now was the time to get that cyst drained. The doctor's visit was quick. They cleaned the area, they drained it, and got 2 syringes of tea-colored fluid. The doctor said, "Thank you. Have a nice day." 2 days later, the phone call came. "You need to see a surgeon." Okay, but for what? The words that the doctor said would never be heard or seen again. The doctor did not utter the words, neither did the surgeon. Who says it? She sat on the edge of a medical table, naked under her gown. Her husband was there, and looking back, they must have been really confused. What in the world was going on? A week later, she had a lumpectomy, surgery that would explore the tender area to find a mass on her chest wall. It had been there a while, probably about 2 years, they said. It was that big. Still, no one said those words. Her daughter was turning 18 that week, a big milestone that even she doesn't remember. Her middle child left for Japan for the Navy. On the outside, life was continuing, but on the inside, life was dying. Death was at her front door. No one saw her lay in bed, like a child weeping in the early morning, almost unable to get up. No one saw, no one felt her heart melt as she thought of the day that her daughter would marry and she wouldn't be there, or the day that her son would have a baby and she wasn't going to be around. No one heard her mind rattle as she thought of songs to play at her funeral. How? How was this happening? And why? Why was this happening? Not only was it breast cancer, but it was the worst kind to get. It was the most aggressive kind. It was the kind that comes back quicker than any other kind. It was triple negative breast cancer. Her chemotherapy was physically draining. In the beginning, her room was filled with lots of friends and family. The nurses wanted that. That was okay. In one corner, people were there to give her support. People were there to help her try on fits. Someone to help her do the yard. People to come and fold laundry and leave. And in the other corner, always her husband. He got her through. He helped her as she got up to drag herself to the bathroom and pushed her to eat when her taste buds were dry. 15 days after chemo, that was the worst day. Her hair started falling out in little strands, and by day 17, there were chunks of hair in her hand. The hair was like an identity that would never be the same. Although now bald and receiving chemo, she went to work. She was an ER nurse who was used to giving care and was not used to accepting care. Chemo robbed her of her fingernails and her toenails. Radiation burned her skin. Her breasts were so raw that she didn't want to wear a bra. Her physical strength was drained. She wondered where she would get the strength to put on her uniform when the weekend rolled around. Things were tough. She begged to do the easy job at work. And so for months, she stumbled through work, chemo, and radiation. 10 months later, the oncologist says, "You're done." But done with what? Done with chemo? Done with radiation? Her most challenging job was done. Her job as a bald woman, standing tall and proud, was done. She had made it through the race of all time. Triple negative breast cancer, lost that day, and I won the race. My name is Dawn Feige. I'm 43 years old. I have to get checked every 3 months. My husband is here, and I'm still scared. Thank you.
Survivors who are here, come up here. Thank you very much for coming up here. That was a wonderful, gentle story you shared with us. And it takes me back to 1999 and July 4th when I had something similar. My diagnosis was a little different, but I know how it felt. And they said, do you know a surgeon? I said, the only one I know is the one who fixed my broken ankle. So I don't think that was appropriate. I said, can you find somebody for me? And they sure did.
My first surgeon was actually a trauma surgeon because I work at a different hospital than my husband worked at. And he said, you need a surgeon? I was like, I don't know. And my husband said, oh, I got one for you. Little did I know he was a trauma surgeon, so if you need your leg taken off, that's fine. But he didn't do breast every day. So I had a wonderful support group of nurses and doctors and friends in the medical community. And somebody pulled me away and said, hey, I really appreciate if I need a trauma surgeon, but I really wanted someone who does breast every day. So my friends encouraged me to change surgeons, and that's how we began. 3 years later, you still have to get checked every 3 months, and it's still scary. I still lay in the MRI tube, and last time I was there, and the music is broken, so you hear the loud knocking for an hour, and I actually had tears come down my face because every time you go from MRI or something. And I was telling my good friend Holly that we have a friend of a friend that we all have triple negative breast cancer. 1 out of every 8 women will get breast cancer. So at your little tables, 1 person from each table will be affected by breast cancer. But only 4% of those will have triple negative. The most aggressive time that comes back quicker, usually our recurrence time is between 3 to 5 years. If you're positive hormones, your recurrence time is about 11 to 15 years. If you're negative hormones, which I am, and very small part of the community, your recurrence time is 3 to 5. So I'm sitting right in the middle of, huge big decisions in our life. And we've made some very big decisions recently. I talked to my oncologist and said, my husband and I want to take a trip around the country. We want to quit our jobs. And we want to go. And my mom went with me to my last oncology appointment. And I hadn't quite said anything. And Dr. Sonnenberg was so wonderful and best around. And he said, go, I'll see you when you come back. My mom looked at me and she said, what? Are you quitting your job? And I said, yes, I'm quitting my job. So we made the decision to do that. We've been gone for 10 months. We both just got our jobs respectively, the same jobs back. So, Dr. Sonnenberg said, don't worry, they're fine. They know what they're doing. They'll get their jobs back. So we just got our jobs back. But it's still there because this friend of a friend who has triple negative, the 3 of us have it, a friend who's my age, we're in our 40s, was having some headaches and memory issues, and guess what? It's back and it's metastasized. Had a very great friend at Bluebird Camp for cancer here, and I went my first year out. Fell in love with a retired doctor who came from Wyoming to live out the rest of her life with her brother. Fell in love with her, and I told Dr. Sonnenberg, oh, I love Janice. She was so great. He said, how did you meet her? I said, we have great photos together. We met at Bluebird. Called her brother a month later after camp because she was but it's such a catch-22 for her, you know? You have no idea. So she passed just a month after that. And, you know, I'm still affected by it every day. I'll take care of an 18-year-old who lost her mom. You know, what did you lose your mom from? Breast cancer? What kind? They have no idea. You know, and I tell her it's imperative to learn. Go ask for your mom's medical records. Say she passed. I need to know. It's imperative. You know, never 20, I think I was a nurse 20 years. I walked into the oncology office and said, sir, I have no idea what I'm about ready to embark on. I mean, I'm an ER nurse. I take care of you when you come in. I have no idea about cancer. And of course, it doesn't happen to us. You know, we're indispensable. It doesn't happen to us. I knew no one. I'm the first in my family. So they call me a founder of my family. Yay for that. And so here we go. And now, you know, it's about teaching my 21-year-old now and how important it is. And I just had no idea. And I had no idea how really, truly very rampant it is these days. It's amazing. So thanks for having me, and I appreciate what you guys do.
We have another